Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Friday, the 12th of March, comes to you from London. And I'm a little late this morning. I'm sorry, I had my jab this morning. I had the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, and I'm feeling fine. So I'm glad to get that done. And we'll look at the coronavirus stats at the end of this video as we head into the weekend. So dollar is just recovering off that short-term weakness. We are still seeing this longer-term recovery going on in the dollar, medium-term chart turning bullish. So it's looking like dollar will have a much better year in 2021 than it did in 2020. The euro is below the 120 level, reflecting that stronger dollar. And so we're seeing that showing through there. And against the yen, the dollar is sitting at 109, really showing its strength here. Tends to be a lead indicator for the dollar. So we still believe that strong dollar is going to play through for the coming months. Looking at sterling, we are falling back. We hit the 140 level again in the small hours this morning, but we're back to 139.20. So we have pulled back, but interestingly, we are still seeing the trend very much in train here. So whilst the dollar is looking strong, sterling is looking even stronger. And against the euro, that's really showing through. We're sitting at 116.80. That target met. We're now looking to targets of 120, then 131, and then 132. So we've got some resistance there to get through, but we are emerging out into the long-term bullish trend. Bitcoin sitting at $56,000, so it's continuing its bullish run. It's still short, medium-term, long-term, and short-term bullish. This is my long-term, my medium-term, and short-term view of the market, weekly, daily, and 60-minute charts. So Bitcoin looking pretty good. The US stock market up 1% last night. We said it would open higher with the futures, and the Nasdaq also now just starting to get back above the cloud there on that short-term chart. We've got an upside target of 8%, but we do still have downside targets. So a bit of a mixed picture. We're seeing the volatility kicking in there, and the futures is down again today. So the S&P future down 0.2%, the Nasdaq future down nearly 2%. So we're seeing the volatility really showing through there, and that is showing up a little bit in the VIX. So we're seeing the VIX volatility also just kicking up a little bit, but it's mostly in Nasdaq stocks that we're seeing that vol. The FTSE future is down 0.25% this morning. The cash market in Germany is down 0.2%, but holding on to its break to higher territory and still bullish on all three time frames. The CAC 40 in Paris is down 0.2%, but again, the breakout is looking assured, not making new highs yet, but almost certainly will follow the DAX to do so. The Japanese market was actually up 1.4%, so looking stronger there. Hang Seng was down 2%, so volatility showing it up there. And we saw that Chinese market was down, was up actually 0.5%, so looking strong there. India was down nearly 1%, but the trends are still looking very good on the Indian market. And the Aussie market was up 0.8%, starting to wander into long-term bullish territory, so looking better as we go on into the weekend there and already in Oz. Taking a look at commodities, we've got gold sitting at 1702, just struggling to hold on to this short-term bullish move, but it is still bullish above the cloud. That's locked a column, so we've got now 1860 as the target. So if we can move higher, we activate that upside target. Is this the beginning of a recovery in the gold price? Too early to say. Not much of a thrust off that low on the medium-term chart, so that does just tell us that it's a weak recovery. The same with silver. We're down 2% there. Looking at bond yields, we're seeing back to 160, so that move that we saw down in bond yields was short-lived. 167 is the next target on the short-term chart, 163, 167, and 174, and of course this big one, 3.25%. That's a long way off, of course, but it's there. We can't ignore the fact that that initial buying thrust is now given us the target. And on the 30-year bond yield, we're looking strong here as well. 2.43 is the short-term target. We've got two targets pointing there. That's where we're going to go. Taking a look at the European commodity mix, we've got Brent crude down slightly this morning. We were flat crude oil this week. That looks to have played out. We have activated an upside target on the longer term chart of 83, so that is looking now as the price we would look to, but of course we are now range bound between this sort of 66, 50, 70 level. WTI also just stuck in the range as well, and if we look at US nat gas, we're falling here. This was one that we were bearish on for the week, so US nat gas is looking lower there, and that's quite key. Looking at coal, we're seeing here that we are fairly flat for the week, and emissions, we've had a big run, so no surprise that we're just going to see a little bit of a pullback. We were bullish on emissions this week. We saw the break coming, and that's what's happened. Looking at gas markets, we're down 1% on MBP. TTF, much the same. We're down 0.4% there. And if we look at German power, we put out our power report this week, of course, and that's given us some very big upside targets, especially on the very long-term charts. But we've seen the move this week. Again, we were bullish on power. That's where we've gone. And last of all, a quick look at Nordic power. On the cow, we are actually up. Down slightly today, but it's just holding on to that bullish move. We need to break to a new high. Notice how the target 28.30 was given and met. We do have a little mini downside target. If you're trading Nordic power, make sure you use these 1 minute charts. Absolutely essential. That's it for today. Oh, we're going to have a quick look at the COVID stats, weren't we? So the vaccination rates continue to rise in the UK. I'm now one of those in that number, over 35% in the UK. We're seeing cases still rising in France. That is worrying. I'm seeing a little bit of a kick up in the data in UK and Germany as well. A lot of this is down to how much testing is being done, of course. Hospitalizations in France still trending up and falling heavily in the US and the UK. The death rate is now the UK as the lowest. Spare a thought for the Czech Republic, pushing higher to levels, number of new deaths past where we were in the November peak. A really dramatic rise, and it's running again, and Brazil is, I'm afraid, out of control. That's it for today. Have a great weekend and stay safe. Get your jab when it's offered. Until then, happy charting. See you on Monday. Bye for now.